Hello everyone. What if you could revive a dead NOCO lithium battery and make it even better than stock? That's what I did with this NLP14. I reused the original high-quality lithium iron phosphate cells and swapped in a powerful 600 amps peak BMS from AliExpress. In this video, I'll show you how I did it, how it performs, and whether it can crank a real bike. This was the original NLP14 from NOCO. It failed because the battery was in storage for a very long time or someone used the wrong charger, a common issue. I replaced the original faulty BMS with a Termera for S12.8 volts unit rated for 30 amps continuous and up to 600 amps peak current. But the lithium iron phosphate cells inside were still perfectly usable. The original cell pack is a 4S1P configuration, that is, for lithium iron phosphate cells in series. The model is rated at 12.8 volts, 4,200 mAh, and 53.76 Wh. The block is solid, no cell damage, and measures 140 by 35 by 65 mm. These modules typically use the DW01 and BB3A, or HY2212, ICS, with balancing resistors bleeding small current from higher voltage cells. That's crucial for starting engines. The BMS must handle a big burst of power safely. Lithium iron phosphate prismatic cells have very low internal resistance. NOCO likely measures a millisecond peak at very low voltage drop, then rounds up to 500 amps. Real usable crank current should be at 200–250 amps. This BMS also provides protection against overcharge, overdischarge, short circuit, and supports cell balancing for longevity. Protect thresholds for charge and discharge are internal to each cell protection IC. Peak discharge rating comes from the MOSFET design, not cell ratings, so it's the BMS handling the surge safely, not voltage detection thresholds. The new BMS fits the NOCO case really well, as it is smaller than the original NOCO BMS. But I still had to grind down the case a bit anyway. I charge the battery using a NOCO Genius 10 in lithium mode. It reaches up to 14.2 to 14.4 volts, then the BMS takes over for balancing. Here's how the cells looked before balancing. One was at 357 volts, others were around 3.35 to 3.4. After overnight balancing, all four were between 3.4 and 3.52, a big improvement. I tested this DIY battery in my 200 cubic centimeters Vespa and my Yamaha Nikon GT with 850 cubic centimeters. The voltage dropped to 11.5 V during crank, which is totally acceptable, and it started the bike with no hesitation. The battery pack will settle back to 13.4 to 13.6 volts after 10 to 15 minutes. Compared to the original NLP14, this version, let's call it NLP14 Plus, has a far better BMS, better peak output, and full control over maintenance. This isn't a beginner project. You need to know about lithium chemistry, charging, and safe wiring. But if you've got the skills, rebuilding a dead lithium battery can give you a second life at a fraction of the cost. I bought the faulty NOCO NLP14 on eBay for £63, the BMS from AliExpress for £9.59. New NLP14 costs £140 online. This gives me a saving of over £72, not bad. If you found this video useful or inspiring, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you.